I was talking last night to my son about marriage, and my husband and I have been married 21 years. It's not perfect. That's not what I'm saying. But I just made me think about in marriage, 21 years, I think communication and honesty is probably two of the top things. Of course, you want love, you want unconditional love, but I think communication and honesty is probably two of the things that are the most important. And I think, too, in relationships, we have to be honest about what it is that we want and what it is that we need. I was telling him last night that we often go into marriage with unrealistic expectations. We expect our spouse to read our mind. The unrealistic expectations, it's just that we need to go into it honestly, right? We need to say, these are the things that I will do. These are the things I won't do. These are my deal breakers. And then at least both people know, okay, this person doesn't do this and this and this, I won't do this. You have to have some standards in place, because if you don't, then you go into a marriage and you think that everything is going to be like it was when you grew up, however your parents were. But in reality, it may not be. And so what I found is that the longer you're married, you learn and you adjust. You realize what your partner will do, you realize what he won't do, and then you start to adjust. And you have conversations, and then sometimes you got to bring somebody in to help with the things that neither one of y'all are good at or that y'all do, or if you're busy or whatever. But communication and honesty are super important, and a lot of times, particularly men, don't communicate. But we still have to, if we're in a relationship, we should be talking to our spouse, right? We can't go and have superficial conversations like, how was your day? Good. And that's it. Both parties should be sharing things, their hopes, their dreams, their desires, their ideas. They should be having real conversations about how to make the relationship better, whatever needs to happen. But people in a relationship should be speaking to each other, should be talking to each other, should be talking things out, especially things that come up, disagreements. And what I've learned is in marriage, it is best to handle things right away. And so if we don't handle things right away, we put it off and put it off and put it off. Those things really begin to fester under the surface, and they blow up like a volcano when they were just like a molehill. They were just minor. But we let them fester. We let things go, and then we build up resentment. And then we wonder why, after a few years of marriage, we're bitter. We wonder why we don't like our spouse. And so communication, honesty is important in a relationship. We just need to tell the truth. We need to say what needs to be said, and we need to be able to say it in love. We have to be honest that neither party is perfect, and that both parties are going to make mistakes. And it's important that you talk those things out. And when you keep those things in, your partner doesn't know. So talk things out. I think the biggest thing that I've found in marriage is that it's easy to point the finger and say your spouse is not doing this, this, and this, and this. And your spouse telling you you're not doing this, this, and this. But I think in a relationship, particularly a marriage that you want to be long lasting, and I'm not an expert in marriage, I'm just telling you my experience, is that if you spend time working on yourself, and I believe that, marriage, there's things that you got to do together, but if you spend time working on yourself, whatever that looks like, working on yourself to make yourself better as a person, as a whole person, as a spouse, as a parent, as a child, whatever it is. You spend time working on yourself, just focusing on how can you be better. Every day you're asking yourself, how can I be better? And the next thing is, how can I serve my spouse? How can I love my spouse unconditionally? And I think that if you focus on those things, those three things, how can I be better? How can I serve my spouse? How can I love my spouse unconditionally? It makes for a better marriage. And oftentimes we're just thinking about me, me, me. We just want to get our needs met. We want to make sure we get what we want. But oftentimes if we just turn it around and say, okay, what do I need to do to be better? Is it my attitude? Is it my whatever it is? What can I do to be better? Oftentimes we're so focused on, well, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do this, but just focus on yourself. How can you be better? And then how can you serve your spouse today? And then how can you love your spouse unconditionally? It will make the marriage so much better. And of course, I believe in because I know that, because of sin in the earth realm, I know that marriages, the devil is all over, trying to see, trying to see what marriage he can destroy. I believe that prayer is super important, that we should be praying over our spouse. We should be praying with our spouse. And it helps. It's not perfect, but it does help. God is working, and I say it's not perfect. I'm just saying that you got two imperfect people that come together in a relationship. It's not going to be perfect. But when we have God over it, it makes things better. We can pray for our spouse. We can pray with our spouse, and it just helps. So I hope this helps you in your relationship. I hope this helps you in your marriage.